This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So Matchroom chairman Barry Hearn, who is of course the father of Matchroom Boxing head honcho in Eddie Hearn, has said that Anthony Joshua has 3 options as to who he fights next and a little bit more. So we'll get straight into his statement. There are 3 main dishes on the menu. Fight Deontay Wilder either home or away, face Jarrell Miller in New York to spread gospel in America before we fight Wilder, or do we honour our mandatory and fight Povetkin, with it being at Wembley or maybe Manchester United? It is a possibility. I can't tell you what is most likely because it is Anthony Joshua's decision. I would like to go to New York and fight Miller because at the moment the pay-per-view buys are at a certain level for Deontay Wilder. Those will grow and grow provided both fighters stay undefeated. And if they do, instead of 600,000 buys, you're looking at 2 million buys. So that is Barry Hearn's statement. So 3 options: Wilder, Miller, Povetkin. All of them good fights. All of them have their benefits, of course. We'll start off with Jarrell Miller. I think him going to New York would certainly spread his name, being that Jarrell Miller is the hometown guy in New York, Brooklyn to be precise, and that would certainly help. But again, it's a dangerous fight, no doubt about it. I mean, for us, a lot of people, we would love to see Joshua versus Wilder next, and would rather no risks happen between now and that fight happening for either guy, really. But for me personally, I would like Dillian Whyte to fight Deontay Wilder. You all know why. Now, so Miller, yes, that would certainly be a good option, no doubt. Undefeated, young, hungry, all that kind of thing. He's got the talk, he's got the gab, and very, very exciting heavyweight. He's more appealing, I believe, than Deontay Wilder, no doubt about it. Alexander Povetkin. Now, Povetkin, he's one of those guys that he's dangerous. Doesn't matter who he fights. Although lately he hasn't been looking that good over his last couple of fights. He's got the job done, of course. But Joshua, he doesn't like fighting shorter guys. You can see that against Parker and, of course, Takam, and maybe Dillian Whyte as well, where while he of course won the fights and without too much trouble, I suppose, except for the Dillian Whyte one, he prefers taller fighters. He walks through them, he hits them so much easier and knocks them spark out. And so Povetkin is a dangerous fight, and one that I believe is harder for Joshua than it would be Wilder. I think he beats Wilder much more convincingly than he does Povetkin. And with Deontay Wilder, of course, we don't quite know what's going on. Eddie Hearn is over in New York at the minute, and expect the huge announcements very, very shortly. And a lot of people not going to like it, but you're going to have to accept it. So sit back and just go, yeah, well, you know, we'll give him time. Well, yeah, give him time. So anyway, without going too much into that one, Deontay Wilder, of course, is allegedly put forward a $50 million offer. 50 million, which most people in the world do not believe that he has. Fact being, Al Heyman has never once backed him before. He's lost purse bid of 7.1 million against Povetkin. Of course, they lost that case as well with Povetkin, and potentially could have to pay $35 million, or whatever it is, in compensation to Povetkin as well for deflammation of his name or whatever it was. I don't know the details. But, of course, a lot of people, when I said that Anthony Joshua, when I did that video where Anthony Joshua says that Deontay Wilder, I will not bow down to any demands. I will not sell my soul even for $50 million. Of course, the Wildettes, the Wilder fangirls, jump straight on that. So he's ducking. You can't win with these people. They're born with common sense, but somehow have it removed from them, and any kind of logical brain cells just totally removed when they start listening to a lot of the Wilder fanboy channels. The Wilder protectors is what they are. Then all common sense goes out the window. You just can't help these people. I mean, for them, it's perfectly okay. For Joshua, who has been building his career, has become the A-side, and has become a superstar in boxing and a high earner, while Wilder's been doing it for 10 years and 40 fights and can't even sell out the damn Barclays. But anyway, of course, they will say, well, Joshua should just accept it no matter what. Okay, so what happens if he accepts it and the money ain't there? There's that one. So they want Joshua to accept 50 million regardless of what's in the contract. Doesn't matter what. This is their logical thinking. So even though that 50 million could be done in installments, it don't matter. He's ducking. Even though in the contract, Joshua, we could be told of what gloves to wear, what shorts to wear, and where it's going to be, when it's going to be, how many press tours you could do, even if it means that he's got to leave Sheffield, UK, mid-camp to do a tour of the United States. That's okay. Even though he's contractually and legally obliged to fight on Sky Sports, Team Wilder say, well, BT Sport offered us more money, so that's where we're going. So Anthony Joshua could be fined a hell of a lot of money for that. Plus many, many other things, but that's okay because he should just accept $50 million. Doesn't matter what's in the contract. You stupid people. Stupid, and plain stupid. But you can't help these people. They've been brainwashed. They can't help it. So either way, for me, I believe that it's 50 million. I'm not convinced that it's there. I believe they could probably get it, but by using Joshua's name, because they couldn't do it with Wilder against literally anybody else on the planet. They couldn't, but Joshua could. He could. He can go fight Tyson Fury and get that kind of money and generate that kind of money for the pay-per-views and everything. Could Wilder against Fury? No, not at all. So everything is about Joshua. Joshua is the A-side by a landslide. Okay, we know this. But yet Wilder has never once stepped up in his entire career. But yet, of course, it does seem that his fans want Joshua to duck. That's more important than the fight, because they want to go, well, you see, Wilder, he tried to make these fights, but all these fighters keep ducking him. That's what they want. That's their whole narrative. Everybody's ducking. Of course, they don't like Eddie Hearn. Why? Because they're racist. And it's not because of boxing. If it was for boxing, they'd be ecstatic, because him going to America to put on more shows for you should be good news. Not only that, it puts pressure on other promoters like Golden Boy, etc., and Al Heyman and whatever else, to improve their worth as well. So ultimately, you guys are going to be getting bigger and better fights, right? But anyway, no, don't like that, because he's not American and he's not the right skin tone, is the truth of it. But hey, you know, people want to listen to these. Anyway, so Wilder, Miller, Povetkin, there is pretty much his options, although Wilder is not an official option yet. Of course, we all know that Wilder looks like he's going to be fighting Dominic Brazil next. That's been the plan all along. It has, but yeah, none of his Wilder protectors will come out and say anything about that for whatever reason. We know the reason why. Now, for me, I would rather he didn't fight Brazil, as much as I believe he will beat Brazil, but there's a risk that he could lose. I don't want anybody beating Wilder except Joshua or Dillian Whyte. Both of them will and can beat Deontay Wilder. Easy work. So whichever one comes first, for me, I'm good with. I don't want Wilder fighting anybody else. I want Deontay Wilder's head on the platter. That's what I want. So hopefully we get it. But for me, I think Povetkin is probably the most likely one, because why would Povetkin step aside? Why would the WBA allow Joshua to do a voluntary and fight Jarrell Miller? I mean, they could, but why would they? They've got a mandatory. They've been waiting for a long time for it, so just get it done is pretty much what they're going to say, I think. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see. And if it does, then a fight at Wembley or Old Trafford in Manchester United. That's an intriguing option. So yeah, that's pretty much what Barry Hearn is saying now. And of course, he is saying that, again, you know, just to clarify what Barry Hearn is saying here, it's Anthony Joshua's decision. It's not Eddie Hearn's decision. It's not Barry Hearn's decision. It's nobody's decision except Anthony Joshua. If he wants Wilder next, he gets Wilder next. If he's given legitimate, these are the three, then choose one. Whichever one he says is the one that happens. Okay, Eddie Hearn has no say in this. Barry Hearn has no say in this. The only people who kind of do might be his trainer in Rob McCracken. He's the only one who may say, yeah, you know what, I think that Wilder is an easier fight than Povetkin. If we can get that fight, let's do that. So that could happen, I suppose, but ultimately we have to wait and see. So for anybody who thinks that Anthony Joshua is the black man's slave to Eddie Hearn, which seems to be what a lot of people are saying. Why? Because they're racist and have to be racist into everything, because they're plain ass stupid. But anyway, drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up. subscribe. Catch you next video.